Norman Suck Spalding, Bare Bones Broadcasting. My wife deserted me. I'm a radio broadcaster, so I'm going to bring my personal life somewhat to the screen because I think it affects a lot of things here. And when you understand my profile, I'll tell you a lot of you will match straight on with it. And it's time to have a confession. And I've had it plenty. With some wonderful people that said there's nothing wrong with you. Gird yourself up and face life and have fun with it. Nothing wrong with you. Every time a cop passed my eyes, cops said that to me. Every time. Anyway. My children and I were abandoned. And I watched a lady do it the other day. She was on a TriMet bus. The boy was at a bus stop waiting for her. She had two other children with her, two younger babies. And her oldest son, he looked like he was like 9 or 10, was waiting at the bus stop, and she was already on the bus. She stood up, and he walked in the door. She hugged him, and they sat down. That's pretty good rendezvousing. If you can hit the specific bus. They're late, and there are all kinds of things. How in the world did you do that? Maybe he just waited to see his mom on the bus. He let the other ones go by. But they had a system where they could rendezvous. My kids and I used to do that too. And I was like, once your kids fail to do that with you, you got problems. Once they make up excuses and you go play and they say, oh well. Then you won't even write the schedule anymore. And I don't know, you drift apart. Everybody having fun. And we were all having fun. We just didn't rendezvous. Boy, they've come back with a funny idea in their head about living. And that's caused them now they can't rendezvous with me at all. My daughter just said something to me. Instead of arguing with me, she said, all right, and agreed to the rendezvous and the plan and wished me well and said goodbye. That is a tremendous sign coming from my daughter. And in this case, she's going to rat some people off that have really been hanging her. And I've told her to do it for a long time. We try to get attorneys to help us do it quietly behind the scenes. It won't help us. So we'll just go to the professional and certified where you go rat people off. Don't like to rat them off. They've been dependent on us not ratting them off. And everyone knows the injustice going on with my daughter and won't do anything about it. Then we'll go over your head and do something about it with somebody that'll put their foot down. And hopefully the investigation will nail you too. Because you were liable to say something and knew it. Not paying the rent anyway. Well, who's paying the rent and why would they? I suppose that's not relevant. To my grandson it is. And to the circumstances of the situation, it's very relevant. And it's all about my granddaughter's place to live. And I'll tell you what the whole thing's about. There's not a human soul on this planet really gives one damn except my daughter and myself and a few others for my granddaughter. And the others that do are just kind of wringing their hands and they ain't doing nothing. Because what matters to that child more than her mother? And they're claiming that her mother doesn't matter to her. Oh, really? And who in hell told you that? Some counselor? Bring me that counselor that said a child's mother doesn't matter to them. My daughter never had a mother. My wife walked straight out of her, and when she found her at 16, my wife spit straight in her face. When she found her with her first baby, my wife spit straight in my daughter's face. And has to the day. And did do that. But I realized she spit in her face in her mind before she was conceived. And I didn't know it. So when she came, she always spit in her face. The whole position of her, she didn't want her. Didn't want either one of my kids, really. Was playing another, what they call political game, like this guy was just messing around with in Russia. Saying he sold these things and arrested him in Taiwan and in Thailand. My God, the things that are going on international now in the name of local law. Oh, really? Local law, huh? Yeah, we ship them back local law. We can arrest them international local law. Oh, really? Something's going to catch you for that one of these days. You're very vulnerable doing that. Law. You've taken law and taken it so vulnerable that someday someone's going to challenge the law with a bigger brain than everybody's walking around here with, and there ain't going to be no law. And they're not going to respect anybody for using it because no one respected it either. Everyone played a trick on the law to keep this up. So somebody's going to come along and show you that there ain't no law. You're not showing any respect to it. When you all show a failure to respect the law, some will show a failure to respect to you. And when you try to use law, it won't matter. Want to bet? Keep it up. Keep up your little charade here. What's the reason for law? A conversation. That does the work with a conscience, not the law. The law just gets a conversation started. Are you having it? You sure are not. You sneaky lion, calling people, playing innocent victims that are plain crawling across the rug in agony. That ain't playing innocent victim, punk. Playing law. And remember this, the greatest attorney I ever met, Alan Brickley, a mayor, a wonderful attorney, said the law is the last place you go. You're talking about up here. You live life up here. The law the last place, because there's so many other things the law wants you to consider before it comes at. In living, and you haven't done it. You said, law I got to consider first. Well, after you consider other things first, then of course you have to go to law. How about the reason for your project in the first place? Well, we got to get this passed through DEQ and you got all the environment. Well, why are you doing it in the first place? Did you go there first? No, we don't give a damn. We're mining. Oh, so now you got to worry about the law. Well, we got to pull a fast one here. Oh, so you didn't go to the law first, did you? No, you failed some other place first. And now you're going to go to the law to cover your rear end. That's not what the law is for. So you're going to trick the law to mine. You're going to trick the law to do everything you're doing right now. Someday somebody will come and going to tell you to be damn the law and not trick you and just plain maul you. Like that idea? Probably be bacteria. It'll probably be bacteria. You fool around with the law and everything you're doing to one of these days, bacteria's going to walk in here and kill you with an airborne disease. Wham! Dead. Want to bet? That's how bacteria works. It waits and waits for you to make a fool of yourself and then bam! Because you walked right into your own trap. Want to bet? That's how bacteria works. Like it? You think you're playing that game? Well, something's playing it on you, humanity.